Yo guys, welcome back to Premium channel. This video is all Dojutsu Part 2. Part 1 will be in the description below, so let's begin. The Rinnegan is reputed as the most exalted eye amongst the three great jutsu. It is said that in times of disorder, one who wields the Rinnegan is sent down from the heavens to become either a god of creation, who will calm the world, or a god of destruction, who will reduce everything to nothingness. The Rinnegan is characterized by concentric circles covering the eyeball. Rinnegan contain extraordinarily powerful chakra and boast enormous ocular power, such that an unworthy wielder risks losing themselves upon implanting one. Their full power can only be brought out by their original owner, particularly when wielding both eyes, but possession of even a single transplanted Rinnegan can still grant overwhelming power. The Rinnegan is able to see chakra and its flow within the body, as well as otherwise invisible barriers, but cannot see through obstructions such as smoke bombs. Possession of the Rinnegan allows one to easily master any jutsu as well as all 5 basic nature transformations. The Rinnegan is the only jutsu able to fully decipher the Sage of Six Paths stone tablet. Uniquely, Momoshiki wielded a pair of Rinnegan in the palms of his hands, and also initially red in color instead of light purple. With his right one, he could use to absorb any chakra-based technique he came in contact with, and utilize afterwards unleash the said technique with augmented power and scale through his left, which he proclaimed to be capable of making a limitless number of. Also with his right Rinnegan, he could turn a target into pills, which when eaten, grants him extended youth along with their chakra and technique arsenal. It would also cause a metamorphosis to his being, increases his size and muscular tissue. Noticeably, after transforming from his absorption of Kinshiki, the Rinnegan in Momoshiki's palms turned yellow and he gained an additional yellow Rinnegan on his forehead. He could create black receivers as well, which he used to either fight with or fire at an individual to impale and restrain them. Urashiki Tsutsuki manifests his Rinnegan in the same pair of eyes as his Byakugan, and can switch between the two jutsu at will. Urashiki's Rinnegan are able to take on several forms to access different abilities. At times, they are red and contain 6 tomo, while at other times, they are blue with a white ripple pattern while using certain techniques. He could also change it to a blue color without tomo, that could warp into the past by several seconds. While normally defensive, by repeating the effect, he could use the acquired knowledge of the near future to formulate a perfect counterattack. At will, Urashiki also could transform both his eyes into Rinnegan with 6 tomo in each eye, which was similar to Sasuke's own but red. He was able to alter its coloring to perform different techniques. When red, he could use an evasive technique that substitutes dozens of red origami cranes upon being struck, similar to the body replacement technique. After receiving half of Hagoromo's chakra from his spirit, Sasuke awakened a Rinnegan in his left eye, which contains 3 tomo on its 2 innermost circles for a total of 6. In addition to the Rinnegan's power, this eye retains the abilities of Sasuke's left Mangekyo Sharingan, including the ability to cast ocular genjutsu and use Amaterasu. If Sasuke overuses the power of his Rinnegan, his ocular power will temporarily diminish, causing the tomo in his Rinnegan to vanish until his full power returns. During this time, he is also seemingly unable to activate his right eye's Mangekyo Sharingan or use Susanoo. The Rinne Sharingan is a Jutsu Kkmi and the predecessor to the Rinnegan and Sharingan. It is characterized by red sclerae and irides, with a ripple pattern spreading over the eyeball and 9 tomo. The Rinne Sharingan possesses the ocular power of the Sharingan, and can be used to cast the infinite Tsukuyomi, an extremely powerful genjutsu which can only be countered by the Rinnegan and the chakra of the 9-tailed beasts. Using this jutsu, Kaguya can transport herself and those in her vicinity to a series of alternate dimensions. The Byakugan is a Kekkei Genkai jutsu that originated from the Otsutsuki clan. After the Otsutsuki settled on Earth, the Byakugan became more commonly associated with the Huiga clan, descendants of the Tsutsuki. It is regarded as one of the three great jutsu, the others being the Sharingan and the Rinnegan. Unlike jutsu such as the Sharingan, which do not manifest until users meet certain conditions, the Byakugan is present from the time of birth. After transforming from his absorption of Kinshiki, Momoshiki get golden Byakugan but didn't show nothing about that, so we don't have any information. The Tenseigan is a jutsu introduced in the last Naruto the movie. The movie's novelization explains that the Tenseigan can be acquired when an Otsutsuki is implanted with the Byakugan of a Hyuga. This combination of the two clans' chakra transforms the Byakugan into Tenseigan. When Toneri Otsutsuki implants himself with Hanabi Hyuga's Byakugan, the transformation takes several days to complete. As the transformation advances, Toneri experiences increasingly painful pulsations in his eyes that subside with rest. When the Tenseigan is finally achieved, the ordinarily featureless white Byakugan gain blue pupils filled with what resemble overlapping white flower patterns. Toneri plans to use these Tenseigan to destroy the Earth by colliding the moon into it, and after the Earth's population is wiped out, Toneri would use his Tenseigan to revive the planet anew. Before he can follow through on these plans, he is drawn into combat with Naruto Uzumaki. Toneri uses his Tenseigan to animate a gigantic golem and also enters Tenseigan chakra mode, giving him several truth-seeking balls as well as the ability to fly. Although the Tenseigan chakra mode's power enables Toneri to do extensive damage to the moon's surface, the form itself is fragile, dispelling after a single punch to the face from Naruto. When this happens, Toneri's Tenseigan also revert back to Byakugan. The Byakugan are immediately afterwards removed from him. The Jugan is a unique jutsu that is known only by the Otsutsuki clan, whose members claim it's troublesome and that it's a power strongly inherited from their clan. In the manga, the jutsu is featureless in appearance with a barely visible pupil. When depicted in the anime, the jutsu is light blue in color with a darkened sclera and visible pupil. Before gaining control of this jutsu, it would independently activate in the presence of dangerous or hidden targets. It can perceive the flow of chakra, enabling Boruto to see the visible changes in one's chakra and likewise track a target through their chakra. It can clearly see the chakra pathway system and determine its most key point. Also can see portals. The Ketsurugan is a jutsu which appears in certain individuals of the Chinoika clan. The Ketsurugan is recognized by its reddish color, giving a special appearance for the users of this jutsu, characterized as holders of eyes as red as blood. Its power earned it comparison to the three great jutsu. The Ketsurugan confers genjutsu casting abilities either by making physical skin contact with the target or meeting each other's gaze, upon which they can hypnotize the victim in a variety of ways, or even delve deep into their minds to extract information. The Ketsurugan also gave the users the ability to manipulate iron, or more accurately, any liquid with a high iron concentration. As such, fitting with its moniker, the Ketsurugan can manipulate the blood within a living target, whether it be themselves or another being. Ranmaru possessed a jutsu Kekkei Genkai which, when activated, causes his eyes to glow red in color. It grants him abilities such as penetrative vision as well as the ability to hinder jutsu such as the Byakugan, which his own jutsu has been likened to. Grants the wielder many abilities that include penetrating vision, able to see clearly through an obstruction and from long distances. At the same time, the Kekkei Genkai has the ability to counter other jutsu's visual prowess, as it blocked the ability to see chakra and even fool the vision of the all-seeing Byakugan. Likewise, it can perform irresistible genjutsu. Ranmaru's vision also lets him locate and track others by sensing chakra, picking up chakra from long distances and noticing changes in an individual's chakra. It is also able to sense how many individuals are present and hear individuals from long distances. Future-telling jutsu is more of an involuntary ability. It allows Shion to predict when someone is going to die. While the predicting is in process, her eyes take on a sacred geometric pattern, shifting somewhat like a kaleidoscope. By dilating her pupils, Yom is able to track down enemies via the reflection on tiny water droplets. According to Sen, once Yom has fixated her sight, her visual range reaches several dozen kilometers. Yom can also use this ability to augment her evasion skills during combat. Downsides of this technique are the evaporation of water droplets caused by the sun, which complicates the usage of the technique and shortens its period of time, and her sensitivity towards blinding light, for example caused by a flash bomb. Daikokyuten is a technique available to Ashiki Sutsuki through his unspecified jutsu. Through its use, anything he has previously shrunk using Sukuna Hakona can be stored within a dimension where time does not flow, allowing for them to remain in pristine condition and instantaneously retrievable at will. The objects retrieved are manifested with such speed that they can catch attentive opponents.